What's up, y'all? It's Goblin Maxer here. Today, you may notice I sound like nothing has changed. This is the exact same day as the last episode. We're not doing the cube today. Get out of here. Today, I want to do something different. What exactly? I want to do a spear. Heck yeah. And I want to do it from a specific angle, and it's going to be blue. Because when I work with blue, I got a lot of shades to work with, and this is what I like. So this is what we're doing today. No, I didn't script this beforehand, so you're gonna see a lot of tribulations, a lot of triumphs, a lot of failures. I suppose maybe cyan as well. Cyan should be useful. Okay, first let's establish a bit of a gradient here. And we'll do it on the ice because, we like living life a bit dangerously here. This is the darkest, this is the lightest. This is the most vibrant. Is it? I don't know. Let's just lay things out and see how they lie. Looks pretty. Only thing is, I just don't know where that fits it. Let's see. Is there any black block that sort of fits this function that I'm looking for? Well, if there is, it's too complicated to implement. I think we should stick with these blocks. So let's just pick block along here. Have I been getting better at art? Or I suppose I should start specific. Have I been getting better at shading? The answer is kind of. I've been using it in a bit of my thumbnails recently, and I think I'm getting better. I think I am, as much as, like tooting my own horn, that may be. Hold on, I gotta go for a sip of coffee real quick. Delicious. Let's get that black. Black, what is it now? That black concrete, thank you. But I've really, been following through on the artistic grind, which is nice because, I'm not. Yeah, we don't need hard edges. But it's nice because, I can actually do stuff like drawing wise that doesn't look like it was done in a white room and the characters don't look like complete abominations anymore. Which is good because well, I suppose it is a bit of a trade-off. Because if I draw too good, then what shock value are my characters going to have, when they look like they're painted by a professional instead of, like a complete amateur. I feel like there is some, appeal to having like, like poorly drawn thumbnails. I feel like, they're really just diminishing returns to drawing better and better because, it's a thumbnail. It's a thumbnail. No one's going to be, hyper analyzing it like some sort of masterful art piece. They could. I wouldn't I wouldn't really recommend it though. I mean, if you are going to hyper analyze anything, honestly, I'd recommend just doing, the actual real deal, like an art piece. So like I don't know, really sure art, like Imager. The one I know is Newgrounds, but I wouldn't necessarily be like just throwing that out there. I guess like Imgur, Pinterest, I don't know, Instagram. It's really Greek to me at this point. I don't know the majority of what I'm talking about in terms of like sharing art online, but I'm sure it's a very painful process that no one likes because why wouldn't it be? You may notice I'm going a bit thick with this blue shading here. It's because I don't really know it, what I'm doing, and I'm going completely by feel. So do not worry about me. I will learn my lesson soon enough. I think, okay, so this should be like the ambient Is it called ambient occlusion? This should be like the edge shadow. As soon as I said edge shadow, my brain just immediately raced to Sonic, and I was like, yep, I belong on YouTube making Minecraft videos because that is like the single most, well, there is sort of like this, you know, thing about like how autistic people like Sonic and Minecraft, and I was like, when playing Minecraft, I see something completely like tangentially related to, like I say shadow and edge, and then my brain just immediately shoots to that, and I'm like, yo, I'm right where I belong, which is comforting because, you know, it's kind of a bit difficult getting into YouTube, you know, thinking like, oh, hey, I'm a YouTuber, I can make YouTube videos like the rest of them. Very difficult to initially get into that mindset because it's like, you don't really believe that. In fact, I didn't believe that for like, I mean, pretty much, like the grand majority of the time, like I've been alive. I know this sounds a bit weird, but for the past 20 years as a college student, I've been interested in doing YouTube like full time as like a job or a career, but I just never actually got to doing it because well, I mean, I guess I wasn't that interested, but more so the reason is I don't. I wanted to keep my information private. That's what I'm trying to say in all these, you know. Yeah, that's really what I'm trying to say is I wanted to keep my information private, but I was, you know, too scared of, you know, like some getting leaked, some getting hacked, and some getting out. Which I mean, honestly, I really shouldn't have because actually, no, I think that was a well-founded fear, and anyone that says otherwise is hopelessly naive. Should I have it here or should I have it around the edge? I think this is a good place to start. Yes. And these edges can also be cyan. Also, this snow is horribly. The snow, the time of day, why is it night? Time set day, weather set clear, weather clear, sorry. Fake fan, I know. But now there's snow on my freaking building, man. Get out of here. I just realized this is going to be a bit of a longer video, so I'm probably going to split this one into two parts. No, I'm just kidding with you. I gotta finish this out. Even though if it's like if it ends up being really long, then I mean that's my problem and I gotta deal with that, unfortunately. Well, let's just finish out this bottom part here. I'm thinking for this part, we probably wanna go with the solid color. I will really just clear it out. I will really just clear it out. Thank you, Scooby. Wonder if I'm gonna get copyright struck for that. Maybe. Probably. I'm already noticing some inconsistencies. However, I will let it slide. This head does kind of remind me of Skeppy. Skeppy used to. Well, Skeppy still is like a cool Minecraft YouTuber. I just don't watch him anymore because I guess it just kind of grew out of it. I hope like in this content I'm doing is, you know, like a bit more of, you know, like a, you know, mature experience for, you know, experiencing Minecraft, you know, for older audiences. I'm really trying to, as weird as it sounds, I'm really trying to target the older demographic here with these sorts of videos just because, well, honestly, I see it as an untapped market. You know, as much as, you know, a soulless business person, that makes me seem maybe I am a soulless business person and you should watch the frick out, man. Maybe you should watch the frick out. I'm gonna sell you something. Ooh, no, I don't have any plans for selling people things. Okay, let's finish the top here, and then we'll come to. I just kind of realized I made this all out of wool when I should have made it out of. Okay, I might put a jump cut here, I might not. I would recommend skipping forward a few seconds if you don't like pe seeing people place blocks. In which case, I'm surprised you made it on the video, honestly, but if you do like seeing people place blocks, then I'll probably say something funny in between. But I was searching for, how to appeal to older demographics on YouTube, and the very graphic videos popped up, and I only had to assume they were AI generated. I didn't click on them because I didn't want to. I didn't want to give that type of, person any type of attention. But just do yourself a favor, never search it up. Never give these people, the light of day. Because it's just the most obscene titles. Just to get like I think old people to click on it because it's like this grandma in the thumbnail. I'm really trying to illustrate it as much for you as possible without crossing the line. It's this grandma in the thumbnail that's like saying something like people who do this are, and then it cuts off because you gotta add the clickbait in there. And I do respect like the inclusion of clickbait because that's just life. That's just life as a YouTuber. If you ain't clickbaiting, what are you doing? I'm not just outraged for no reason. There's some obscene things like that I was saying, like, but I'm not gonna get into it. So honestly, I'm just gonna move on. If you're that interested, uh, honestly, I understand, but don't search it. And that's just what I gotta say. And I know I'm like that one meme where it's like someone's asking what happened. It's like, oh, dude, you don't want to know. It's horrible. It's absolutely horrible. But honestly, I'm saying this adds no value to your life. This is really just it's you'd be no better off with it than you are currently without it. So don't worry. You ain't missing much. That's for sure. Now here, maybe cyan possibly, because it is like a mid-tone. And I want to just head up here, see how it looks. First off, I need a highlight, so I'm thinking I'm gonna snow block because this one is slightly blue as well, on top of being, like white. I'm just gonna boom. How does this look? Let's get a good thumbnail. I didn't use the proper F1 screenshot last time, so I had to literally edit out my crosshair in post. But I mean, yeah, I think this looks pretty good. Probably gonna take a little bit of a break and then try to revise this in a future video. But yeah, if you enjoyed this and you made it to the end, I would be very surprised if you made it to the end. Please like, subscribe, leave you a little F1 shot, and yeah, that's the video. See ya.